everyone. My name is Martin Venegas, and today with my colleagues John Malagon and Nelson Duarte, we will present the Brazil case of retreated tires. We also want to take the space to mention that this case is the first one in history and in the General Agreement on Tires and Trades involving a recyclable waste product. In this case, as you know, we will have a complainant and a respondent. In this case, the complainant will be the European communities and the respondent will be Brazil. The issue has its four main points, which are the European request, later the consultations allowed a better understanding, but it have not led to a satisfactory resolution of the matter, the creation of the special group, and finally the final report from the panel or special group. Here, the establishment and composition of the special group, basically what the parties to the dispute agreed was the assist of the DSB. Here we have to say that DSB is the dispute settlement body that will be the ones in charge of making those recommendations or giving the ruling provided for those agreements that both parties agree. Later, the panel is composed as follows by the Director General. The chairman will be Mr. Mitsuo Matsushita and his members, Mr. Donald M. McRae and Mr. Chang F. Dawson. To resolve the dispute, several rules come into play, such as prohibitions on quantitative restrictions, concerns on national treatment such as domestic laws and regulations, but furthermore we will focus on Article 20 of the GAPT of 1994. The first concerns are the exceptions to protect human life or health, and also we found out that our main legal problem is that Brazil import ban is in fact intake protectionism.
Well, on September of 2007, the European Communities notified its intention to appeal to the appellate body certain issues of law covered in the panel report and certain legal interpretations developed by the panel. So on December of 2007, the appellate body has already circulated the report to the members, and in this report they determine a sort of decision that we will develop. Okay, the first two determinations establishing the report of the appellate body that I would like to mention is the first one, the determination of until the panel finding that the import ban can be considered necessary and thus provisionally justified under that provision, and found that the panel did not breach its duty under the Article 11 of the DSU to make an objective assessment of the facts. In second place, the panel findings that the Mercosur exemption would not result in the import of ban being applied in a manner that constitutes injustifiable discrimination and disguised the restriction of international trade only to the extent that it results in volumes of imports of retreaded tires that could significantly determine the achievement of the objective of the import ban. The last two determinations that I would like to highlight is the reserve that the panel finding that the Mercosur exemption had not resulted in an arbitrary discrimination or in an injustifiable discrimination, and also, finally, with the respect of the Article 20 of the GATT 1994, the appellate body upheld, albeit for different reasons, the panel finding that the import ban is just not justified under the Article 20 in question.
We got three main conclusions of this case. The first one, if a country like Brazil reach an international obligation like the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, they need to take part to change that type of activities, that in this case are the banning of the imports from special tariffs. This in order to correct their own politics, to correct and complete their international obligations, and also the arbitrator or the special group recommendations, as well as the appellation body ones. In second place, we have the topic about the reasonable period of time. As a conclusion, we could say that the reasonable period of time is a time in which a nation needs to comply with their obligations and also the recommendations that the appellation body or the special group did. In this case, we see that Brazil gives a lot of time, while the European community wants absolutely time, like 2 months. The arbitrator said that the reasonable period is 12 months to complete that part of Brazil obligations. Finally, we could conclude that the part, in this case Brazil, that have the charge of fulfill their obligations or recommendations need to have their internal procedures to do that. But that internal procedures need to be efficient, not like in this case that Brazil asks that they need to use their judicial power as their judicial procedures to complete the tribunal, the arbitrator, and the appellation body suggestions and orders. Because that judicial power have a lot of procedures that require a lot of time and affects the intention and the obligations of the Brazilian government.